At the divorce hearing, the air was thick with tension. My daughter, Lily, sat at the plaintiff's table, her hands trembling as she clutched a tissue. Her soon-to-be ex-husband, Eric, leaned back in his chair, smug and arrogant, like he was the one who had already won. He wore that same sly grin he'd had since the day I met him, the one that screamed confidence without substance. I sat quietly in the back, dressed simply, unnoticed by most people in the room. That's how I preferred it. No one there, especially Eric, had any idea who I was. To him, I was just Lily's retired father, the man he believed was living off a modest pension. He couldn't have been more wrong. "Mr. Collins," the judge said, addressing Eric, "you've requested spousal support. Is that correct?" Eric straightened, nodding confidently. "Yes, Your Honor. My wife," he shot Lily a condescending look, "comes from money. I left my job to support her dreams, her lifestyle, and her family's business trips. I think it's fair she continues supporting me." The courtroom went silent for a moment. Lily's lawyer looked disgusted. "Support you?" she repeated. "You mean live off her fortune?" Eric smirked. "Call it what you want. I call it fairness. She's had everything handed to her. Her house, her investments, even her car. It's not like she earned it." That's when I saw Lily's eyes fill with tears. She looked down, ashamed, not because of what he said, but because of what she knew, that her husband had never valued her, only her money. The judge adjusted his glasses. "Mr. Collins, are you employed?" "I was," Eric said with fake humility. "But when Lily inherited her father's business shares, she told me I didn't have to work anymore. I managed our household, handled social events, kept her image clean. That has value too." I almost laughed out loud. This man hadn't handled anything. He'd spent years spending my daughter's money on his toys, a new car, luxury trips, even a business venture that never existed. The lawyer stood and said calmly, "Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to call Mr. Robert Hayes to the stand." Eric frowned. "Who's that?" he asked loudly, glancing around. Lily turned around, and our eyes met. She gave me a small nod. It was time. I stood up and walked toward the witness stand. Eric's smirk faded instantly. "Mr. Hayes," the judge greeted, "please state your relation to the parties." "I'm the plaintiff's father," I said simply. The lawyer smiled. "Mr. Hayes, could you explain your connection to the company your daughter inherited?" Eric rolled his eyes. Here we go again with the family drama. I looked directly at him, then at the judge. "Your Honor," I said calmly, "I'm not just Lily's father. I'm the founder and current majority shareholder of Hayes Engineering, the same company my daughter partly owns." The courtroom murmured. Eric's jaw dropped. The judge raised an eyebrow. "You mean the Hayes Engineering that contracts with several government agencies?" "Yes, sir," I said. "I built it from the ground up. I've spent 40 years running it, and 3 years ago, I transferred 25% of the ownership to my daughter. That's the fortune her husband's referring to." Eric blinked rapidly. "Wait, you're that Hayes," he stammered. I smiled faintly. "The same. And for the record, my daughter never asked for the money. I gave it to her because she's responsible, hardworking, and loyal, 3 words that don't describe her husband." Lily's lawyer continued, "Mr. Hayes, were you aware that the defendant had filed for spousal support, claiming dependency on your daughter's inheritance?" "I was," I said, nodding. "And I also know he's been funneling money into a private account under a different name for months, money that came directly from my daughter's trust fund." Eric jumped to his feet. "That's a lie," he shouted. The lawyer slid a folder across the table. "Bank records say otherwise. The transfers match your IP address, your email, and even your signature." The judge frowned. "Mr. Collins, is that true?" Eric's face turned pale. It's not what it looks like." I leaned forward slightly. "No, Eric. It's exactly what it looks like. You tried to milk my daughter's trust, assuming no one would check. You even bragged to your friends that you'd never work a day again, once you married into money. You forgot one thing. Money can vanish. Integrity can't." The room went silent. Lily looked up at me, tears streaming, but this time from relief. The judge cleared his throat. Mr. Collins, in light of this evidence, your request for spousal support is denied. Furthermore, I'm ordering a financial investigation into your accounts.